business analytics. Okay, so basically the business analytics BA refers to the skills and technologies practices for continuous iterative exploration and investigation of past business performances to gain insight and drive business planning. How it is used? Let's see. Normally, BA means business analytics is used to gain insight that inform business decisions and can be used to automate and optimize business processes. Business analytics is used for optimize the business processes. What all are the business processes can be optimized? It can be anything. It can be a process for daily handling of the mail campaignings. It can be a process for any of the HR processes. It can be a process like any of annual or monthly appraisals and the price distribution for the any HR team. Okay. And data-driven companies treat their data as a corporate asset, basically, and use it for the competitive advantages. Means if we talk about the business intelligence tool or the business analytical tool, where we use these insights. Insights means the data which is coming from the different sources into the data mart. The data means the things which is coming from the different sources. Suppose we assuming company X is having the 4 departments: HR, finance, marketing, and sales. All the 4 departments getting the data from the different sources. So these all 4 are the data marts for this a single organization. And these data marts is consolidated, connected with all the data warehouse, where all the data comes and stores accordingly their respective needs. Successful business analytics depends on data quality, skilled analysts who understand the technologies and the business, mean about any domain, kind of suppose industry which is working over the healthcare industry, and their analysis is not able to understand what exactly is healthcare, what exactly is the HIPAA. HIPAA is normally a certifications for the healthcare industry professionals, which is mandatory for the US professionals. In USA, it is mandatory. So if they don't know the timeline, they don't know the scorecards for the HIPAA and their pharmacies and their drugs estimations and the business analysis, how we can expect they can assume for this thing for their work. So successful business analysis depends on the data quality. Means if the data is not the correct format. If we talk about the big data, the data can be anything. It can be structured, semi-structured, or the unstructured. But if we are talking about the business intelligence tools, if we are talking about the business analytical tools or any SaaS tools, the data should be a good quality wise. Means it should be a proper columns and rows. It should be defined in every manner. Business and BA's techniques break down into 2 main areas. These are basically 2 main areas. The first is the business intelligence, that is BI tool for the reporting purposes which we generate. Some of the BI tools is IBM Cognos BI, and it's a report generation and the manipulation, data manipulation, and the graphical and the graph generation tools, where we can use to generate around 26 types of graphs. In R, we can generate around 32 types of plots. It can be a point shouted, it can be a histogram, it can be a QQ plot, it can be a high energy plot, it can be anything. The business intelligence examining historical data to get a sense of how a business department, team, or a staff member performed over a particular time. This is a mature practice, and that enterprise are fairly accomplishment of this using, because they are using it from a very long time. The second area of business analytics involves deeper statistical analysis. What is statistics? We cover into the next slide. And statistical analysis, this may mean doing predictive analytics by applying statistics algorithms. It can be Kennett, it can be Zoppen, it can be Jenkins, it can be anything, any algorithm, which can be run over your tool, whether it's a Python, whether it's R. And these algorithms work over on the historical data. Historical data means the data which is residing into the data warehouse from a very long time. And the industries, the companies not knowing what we can do with this data exactly. So the product, services, or the website design chain, or it could mean using other advanced analytical techniques like cluster analysis or group customer based on similarities across several data points. The data gathered all the time. If we click over any of the pages, the log is generated and stored into the data store, data mart, respectively data marts for the website's performance and the ad performance. If we talk about, we normally see the Google AdWords. When we search anything on the Google, on the first 4 steps, we see the Google AdWords, where it comes. Why it comes when we are searching something else and it's showing the ads over there, and how it is useful for the business. How the companies and their BAs knows this is the correct keyword which we are using for this type of search. How they know a person can catch this word for this particular keyword. So this all kind of thing is done by the business analytics or the business analyst who knows how to drive the business. And next, so I'm just asking from you, either I am little higher side or it is good the pitch.
Yeah, Antariksh, this is Krish here.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add a few points here on business analytics.
Sure.
Yeah. See, guys, the business analytics. So this is what is the utility of this particular domain? The utility is in business. You might have heard about MIS, that is called Management Information System, right? So if, till now, whatever information which was provided to management, they were all reactive information. What I mean by reactive information is the event which has already happened. Like if I say what is the event means, a production or a profit or a revenue or expenditure. These are all events. The event which has already happened, right? Those data has been shared to the management. Okay. So what the management will do if the event has already happened? Suppose I want to know what production has happened. So after knowing the production has happened and which is below the par, so what would the management will do for the event which is already has happened? So management will analyze the event which has already happened, and based upon what has happened, the management will plan for the next quarter or maybe next semester or maybe a next year to have a higher production or higher revenue growth. But if I get the information that what is going to happen in the next 3 months, what is going to happen in the next 6 months, and how can I maximize that event performance? How can I maximize that event performance, right? If I know, if I can predict, if I know that a particular variable, if I work with, it is going to improve the production. If a particular variable, if I work with, it is going to give me a better cost savings. the particular variable if I work with is going to give me a better profit margin. So what variable I need to work upon to actually improve the production or improve the revenue or improve the profit margin. So that predictions can be done using business analytics. So business analytics, the advent and invent and utility of this business analytics is all about forecasting or understanding what particular insight or what particular information will actually improve the performance of my company or my business. So business analytics, the utility of business analytics to actually do the predictions. What is going to happen? But what is happening in the industry? What has been happening in the industry till now is we're getting the information after the event is happening, or if after the event is completing its time. So if production, if something the production has happened already, so what I will do? Can I increase the production? I cannot improve the production. So if I know that next 3 months, if I have to set a target of 1 million ton of a particular unit product unit, so how to achieve 1 million ton? How do I achieve that? It just So I need to know which variables, I need to understand what factors I need to work upon to improve the production or improve the revenue or improve the profit margin. Okay, so but so these particular numbers can only be achieved by working on statistics, by working on analytics, by working on mathematics, by working on data, by working on business strategies. So business analytics is the is used for doing the predictions, forecasting, generating insights by using three components. That is mathematics, data, and business strategies. Right? Yes, Antariksh, you can take over now. You can take over.
Okay, thanks, Krish. Thanks for all the things.
Yeah, thanks.
And now we are just moving for the next slide. What is statistics? And statistic here is a statistics means the same which we are hearing about in the mathematics. Okay, and statistics is a branch of mathematics dealing with collection, analysis, interpretation, presentation, and organization of the data. Where the statistics words comes means we are working over the data. We are working over the data to get insights. We are working over the data to get the future predictions, what is exactly happens with the data and what we can do extra with this. Okay. In applying statistics, a scientific, industrial, or any social problem, and we can use this thing for the designing experiments and any other data collection, means data mining, dicing and slicing of the data. We can use the statistics over there, summarizing information to aid understanding, and also we can use for the drawing conclusion from data, means data visualization from the data which we are getting, to getting and generating the plots and generating the graph, different kind of graphical user reports, the graphical view of any reports or graphical view of any data, and any automation what we can do with this data. This kind of things we can do with the statistical analyst. Estimating the present configuration of any product and the prediction of their future, whether it can be a successful product or not, whether it can be any loophole in this product or not. The different statistical manners to the different algorithms which can run over the R Studio or the R shell scripts. We see how the R Studios looks like. We see how the R graphical user interface looks like next into the slides once over this part complete. So this is all about the statistics. Basically the two statements illustrate the sum of these problems and these points for the statistics. In making the predictions, the statistics use the subject of exactly a probability. Means if we are getting, suppose if a company is having name X is generating the revenue of around 1 billion USD in a month, and they are forecasting to generate around uh, 10 billion in a quarter next quarter. So how they'll get the things from the market, what other things they can do in their business, in their processes to get and achieve these kind of this goal set and this revenue for their company or for their organization. So this is totally handled and completed by the statistics, which model charts mathematically some of the problem statements, calculations, algorithms, and enables to chance to complete the cases. Complete the cases means achieving the goal, which is set by the business owners or the stake owners.
Okay.
Statistics has become a very important tool in today's world in many academic disciplines, in many domains such as medicine, healthcare, travel, energy. These are the domains, supply chain. These are the domains, these are the industry domains where the statistics are much more using other than any other statistics or analytical tools. The R is itself a statistical algorithm language. It's a statistical analysis language where we can there are such much more difference. If you are ever worked over the Excel, Microsoft Excel, to analysis of any data, and if you have this R tool, the statistical analysis language tool, there are much more differences. There are in there are some of the differences. There are some of the loopholes in the Excel, and that's why the industry is going towards the R and any statistical language, analysis language, which can predict the future of any business. If any business analyst know the future, or if he can predict this thing from any other tool, the R, Jenkins, Fox, these tools, they they can handle their role as a business analyst.
Okay. So Antriksh, I want to add a few points here.
Sure.
See, every if you look at, there is languages, various languages, like Hindi is a language, English is a language. So data is also a language. Statistics also a language. Okay. So if you have if you have a set of numbers, so how to understand those numbers, like what data is communicating to us. Okay. So we need to understand the communication language of data, and that language name is called statistic. Okay. Have you heard about average, mean, median,
Yeah,
mode,
yeah.
the
Yes.
standard deviation, coefficient of variation, okay, percentile, percentage. So these are the language of a data. This is language of a number. Okay. So with this language of data and this language of number is called statistic, right? So so suppose if I give a number, I give you a number 2 3 2 3. What is the average? 4 plus 3 7 plus 7 10, and 4 7 10 by divided 10 by 4 is 2.5. Okay. And if you look at 2 and 2 and 2, the number 2 is close to 2.5, number 3 is close to 2.5. Okay. But if I give you a number, say a data set, where I have a first number 2, second number 10, third number 100, fourth number 500, what is the average? The average will be, is very high number, and each
Near
number,
500.
yes, each number will be very far from the average.
Mid,
So,
median, yeah. Okay.
right? So if you look at, we need to see a data speaks a predictable language. A data speaks a predictable language. If data doesn't speak a predictable language, then the data has no sense. So statistic is a way, is a language, or it makes a data speaks a proper language, a predictive language, where we can actually draw inferences from. Okay. The statistics is a tool which converts the data into a language. And how we do is what Antrix mentioned is we have to collect the data, we have to analyze the data, we have to interpret the data, we have to present the data, we have to organize the data, and by using a scientific way or scientific measurements, and that is called statistic. to make data speak a predictable language, a proper language, right? Yeah, Antriksh, you can take over. You can take over.
Thanks, Krish. So now we are talking about the data from the very first of the slide of this today's presentation. So now the work comes, what is data exactly? Data can be anything. Means a document, a presentation slide, a PDF file, a music file. It can be, these are the normal things which we works over in our routine life. And if we talk about the industry data or the organization data, what is it? There's employees data, employees mails box data, employees call logs data, daily client checks data, client work data, any functional requirements or the technical notes or the source code of any system. This is all the data. We have three types of data categorized in today's time. One is structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. And to analysis of these kind of all the data is called a data analytics. As a term, data analytics refers to an instrument of application from basic business intelligence. Means basic business intelligence means any reporting or a OLAP, means online analytical processing, to various forms of advanced analytics. In that sense, it's similar in nature to business analytics. So means the basic of the data analytics is for the BI tool, any BI business intelligence activity or any report generation or any online analytical processing, OLAP, or the OLTP, online transaction processing. It comes into the data analytics. Why it is comes into the data analytics? If we are reporting any data, we are using certain parameters. We are using certain filters over it. If we are generating a report or a graph into the Excel, we are creating any pivot table, or we are creating, you are using any filters or the macros over there, generating the graph accordingly to the our needs. The same kind of thing if we are doing on the higher side. In Microsoft Excel, we have around 65,356 rows only in our standard Microsoft Excels, and only 256 is the columns. If suppose we have a data set which is having around thousands of columns and having millions of records, then what kind of tools we can use it? Because Excel cannot even open that file. If we want to analyze those things, Microsoft Excel cannot open that file even. The analytics is a much far thing for the tool. So there are some of the other data analytical tools. We can data analysis through the R language. This is a very powerful language. Sentiment analysis or the statistical analysis can be done easily here. We can describe the data in it. And exactly in another umbrella term, if we talk about the approach to analyzing data, with the difference that the latter is oriented to the business use, while data analytics has a broader focus. The expansive view of the term isn't universal, though in some cases, people use data analytics specifically to mean advanced analytics, treating BI as a separate category. But the data analytics initiatives can help business increase revenue, improve operational efficiency, optimize their marketing strategies, marketing campaigns, and customer service efforts, respond more quickly to the emerging market trends, and gain a competitive edge over rivals. Means if a company is using any data analytics tool or data analytics or the statistical analysis tool, how they can approach towards the growth. Suppose this quarter they have the 1 billion USD or the GBP profit or the revenue, and in the next quarter they want to earn around 10 billions. They can predict through the data analysis what are the loopholes in their services, where they are working over it, and where they have to increase their market segments, where have to, is there any loophole to the in the marketing also, or the marketing is going fine, or the sales team is not pitching correctly. These kind of thing can be analyzed by the data analytics or the data analysis person. And this is also for the real-time analytics we can use for the data analytics. Means suppose a company is having a Twitter handle, means they have their own Twitter account, and some of the customer put any of the bad comment over their services, or the customer is not happy from their services and put with the hashtag over it that he is not happy, the bad experience over it, and the other things. So immediately the things, the keywords put into the Twitter handle comes into the database, are triggered, data analytical trigger will activate and remove, and the trying to figure out what is this customer, when this customer is logged, what he purchased it, what there is background, what product it's used, and why it's not happy. This can be analysis done by these kind of analytical tools. And what is the type of analytical applications we use? We are using here EDA and CDA, two types of applications. You can mark down these things. EDA is exploratory data analysis, and CDA is confirmatory data analysis. These are the two analytics applications which industry is using right now. At a high level, data analytics methodologies include EDA, that is exploratory data analysis, which aims to find pattern and relationships in data. Okay, and confirmatory data analysis is applied for the statistical techniques to determine whether hypotheses about a data set are true or false. Means where the EDA is used. EDA is used to read the customer happiness or the sadness pattern. If we are talking about the real-time data, and as we take the example from the customer, suppose I am a person of an e-commerce portal and I purchase a memory card from it and it's not working. I put this thing to their Twitter handle. As I put it, they'll first, what parameter the system will check, whether it's my first time this error occurred, first time I'm unhappy, or it's a repetitive thing with this product or with this person. This kind of things identified by the EDA, means exploratory data analysis. And what techniques or to use to overcome this kind of problems or this kind of things from the customers are unhappy, customer is not happy, the product is going, the damaged product is getting the customers, the money lost, the vendor is not coming over their e-commerce platform. So these kind of techniques created into the CDA, that is confirmatory data analysis. Normally in the data analytics fields, we talk about, when we talk about the EDA, EDA is often compared to the detective work, while CDA is normally compared to the work the judge or the jury during any case trial. Means when the EDA is used to determine the problem, what exactly the problem is, and the CDA is used for providing the solution. These two kind of the analytical applications we are using, EDA and CDA. So now comes what kind of roles data scientists perform. The data scientist normally performs roles apart from what the data analytical persons get the roles. They mine the data, they get the insights to running their SQLs and other things. But the data scientist role is apart from this. role of a data science process over with more conventional data analysis position. There are some stark differences. A data analysis or architect can extract information from large sets of data through the SQL. There is only a way to mine the data. We have to run a SQL. Excuse me, SQL query language, sequential query language, which is runs on different parameters based on different parameters. If we have a file which is having around 25 fields and 25 columns and 700 of columns, 100 rows and records, and if I want to get the records, the person, customer name, customer number or customer name which purchase the products greater than 10,000 of amount, whether it's a USD or INR, through our e-commerce portal in this particular month, we can get this kind of mine the data that normal data analysis perform. But what exactly the data scientist does? Data scientists create the EDA and CDA applications. The data mining the problem and providing the solutions to them. So this is all about the data analytics and how the industries use analytics. Normally, if we talk about a small organization, even right now in today's time frame, they have much more data, and they exactly don't know what we can did with this data or what we can done by this data only. So the data scientist role or the business analysis role to get the insights and provide those things to the business owners, that these kind of things they can done with this data, and how the industry basically use the data and all for their organizations, how it is useful for them. So this is basically analytical, data science, analytical consultants, head of analyticals and data strategies to drive the design and execution of overall data and analysis strategy, solid understanding statistics and analytics which can leverage the business decision. Means machine can take the business decision, not the person. If all of a sudden 10% give the bad feedback on application store, mobile app store, or their any social media handle, so machine can take the decision. What is the answer for this? The Autobots which we are talking about. So these kind of things normally industry is working over it. Finding the translators means organization should focus on finding translators. Suppose global e-commerce portal is sailing into the Germany, and a person put the feedback into the German, and their console handling team sits in the America or the USA or the UK or even in India, and the person, the translator, they don't know the German language. How they satisfy for the customer? So normally Autobots translators, the CDA type of applications, use it to get the automated reply for them. These are the cloud-based things where they use these things accordingly. Okay, so now go toward the installation on the R. So we took this thing, how we can install the R, as I already have installed R in my system. So if we search on the Google, install R, there are a CRAN file, CRAN repository. The first link, CRAN.R, where we can download the R the graphical user interface. If we are Windows user or the Mac user, suppose I am for the Mac user, so I just click over the Mac, and the CRAN first link, which is handling the cran.r-project. We can install it from there. Install the latest package from it. It's already installed in my system, so I'm not clicking over it. So you can directly install it from the search on the Google, install R, and use it from there. If I go for my applications, so here it is installed R. So once it's open, here it is. This is a normal console. This is the CLI, command line interface for the R, and we are using here right now for as a small calculator. If I use the 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, if I use 3343 divided by 4, the answer is 8. If I use this thing for the multiple lines, means 2 plus 3 and into, and I enter this, and I click over the 4, and this is the 14 answer is there. So this is the thing for the R CLI. Now the second thing comes for the R Studio, which is normally use kind of this command line interface, but also through the R Studio we can get the graphical representation or the plot creation for it. For installation for this thing, R Studio, we can do the same thing. Go over to Google, search here, install R Studio. There will be a site, download R Studio. Click over it. The R Studio website will open, and we can click over the R Studio desktop open source license. It's a freely available into the market as it's a open source. Okay, and there is another R server open source license. It's also the R. What is the difference between R Studio and R Studio server? The basically R Studio tools for use for getting the data from the R data source, which is coming from any web source or any web portal, and also we can access this thing through the web browser for the server one. But normally we suggest for the practitioners to install this R Studio into your machine, local machine, and use it, because there are certain libraries and the parameters which is hidden into the server options. So you can use it accordingly as per your need, but normally we suggest to download the desktop version for it. Accordingly, it's available for the Mac and Windows both. It's easily freely available for the open source license. Okay, and this is, and now we go into the what is this course is all about. Actually, what we are going to cover in next slides, I'll just show you the R Studio and how this scripting is work over there, how we get the data, how we install other things. We just go first, we cover this thing. This is, let's see first R Studio.
Antriksh, this is Krish here.
Yeah, Krish.
Are you there? Your screen is not visible.
Okay. Now it's visible. Hey,
Yes,
Krish, now it is visible.
yes, Antriksh, it is visible now.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is the R Studio. Once when we install the R Studio from the Google, we'll get this kind of file, the R Studio 1.4.3. Just click over it, R Studios. It will install normally as a software install. And after the installation, this kind of screen will appear. This is the console. This is the console. This is the same console which is look as the CLI, the command line interface, which we used earlier. And for installing the R Studio, it is mandatory that you have the R CLI into your system. Otherwise, it won't execute the proper. So the same things we can use here. Okay, this is the environment part, history for any importing or exporting the things. And if we are importing the data sets, if we are importing the CSV files or Excel, SAS, or strategy files, statistics files, just click over it. At the first times, it's required to get the add-ons, to get installed the add-ons first. Once we, as it's not having the any Excel package installed, so if I click over the yes, it will start the packaging, extracting the packages and install it into the R console. These all are the tar files. These all are the tarballs. Why the tarballs is used? Because it are the secured one. It's a double encrypted and scripted one parts to get the things. Where we can just get the data sets, we can browse the data sets, we can preview the data sets here. Okay, and if we click over the import, it will get the import in our file. Right now we did not import any data set, so it is saying the data set not found. So this is all about the R Studio. And so this is file menu option, where we can open a new file or the new object, importing and importing the data sets, save the R scripts also. Go to run the file functions, create any source files, we can use it to any file or functions, we can create it. The plots, we can create any plot, different types of plots, means we cannot create over it exactly, means we only see the plots. If we want to zoom it or convert it into the PDF, these kind of things we can done here. In the sessions, we can create new sessions, terminate the current R sessions, restart the sessions. This is the thing. Build for configuration, build tools. Suppose we are working over single data sets, and meantime we are getting in the meantime we are just get the another data sets on the runtime basis. We can put into it our database. We can debug our scripts. We can create start profiling and all, creating the packages and all. Shell scripts is enabled for that. The add-ons is we can enable different kind of add-ons or different kind of algorithms. We can enable it and use in our scripts. So this is all about the R Studio. This is quite a handy tool. If we are generating the plots, we are getting the plots here. Packages will shown here. This is already created some of the packages here. Some of the files is also there. So this is my system files, not the R files repository files, as this is my client machine. So it is all the encrypted one. I cannot able to access this thing from my client, another my client locations. Okay, so this is the things. This is the help package where we can search anything or the things we can get the help studio. If we type here help plot, I put enter, it will show me the plotting for the generic XY plotting, how the arguments pass and how the things done into this, how the default plot is used for the x-axis and the y-axis things. This is, we can use the RStudio. Now comes into the part, what is this course is all about. So in this course has a lot of examples and real life case studies which should really help you to understand statistics and data science with the domain knowledge, kind of marketing, supply chain, or healthcare, or travel, airline industry, transportation industry, supply chain, logistics, but this kind of domain industry knowledge you will get also. This course around R and large number of examples of source codes which demonstrate you the language feature of R, the source code which will provide by me only, and including all the different data structures and algorithms to slice and dice, algorithm which provides you the slice and dice the data sets which is used for the determinants of predictions or the artificial intelligence kind of things. Then we spend significant amount of time on linear regression, simple linear regression, multiple linear regression, contiguous variables, diagnostics plots, integrity of linear regressions also. What are the troubles you face in Microsoft Excel if you are using the data analytics tools, just like as a Microsoft Excel for linear regression, versus what are the advantages of statistical analysis programming language like R to perform linear regressions. We use 2 case study to understand how to build linear model into the R language, to the R. In addition to all, we have bunch of example to build a foundation of statistics in R, including descriptive statistics like mean, median, and so on, data visualizations, and information statistics like hypothesis testing, A/B testings, this kind of thing we can do. And who can join this kind of this course? Any business professionals who's having or not having, with or without a quantitative knowledge, quanta knowledge, MBA grad who wants to make career path with data science and the R and statistics, any PhD or the BT engineering or the BTech students or MTech students who wants to pursue their career into the data analysis and data science, they can join. Analytical professionals with or without knowledge of statistics knowledge, because we are covering this course from the scratch, the basic statistics, how it works, what are kind of things we use in this things. So what we are using here, descriptive statistics we are using, cover statistics and probability regression practice. Inferential statistics we are using case studies. It will cover vectors, arrays, matrix for the plotting the diagrams or the QQ plots, regression, quantitative relationship between variables, linear regressions. First we did in Excel, and then we cover into the R. So you will get the clear picture how the both tools are, the both systems are the difference. Dealing with the real world data, careful cross validation to avoid overfitting kind of things we'll cover here. So this is all about the course, and this is all about from my side. Krish, now it's over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Antriksh, for giving us a fair idea on statistics, data analytics, and the course details. Yeah, so just I want to give a few cents of my analysis or my knowledge on this field. Uh, I'm seeing that. S- so before I just explain something, I want to know a few things from you. Chitranshu, are you there? Chitranshu, are you there? Okay. Seems like most of the people have left from from the webinar. Okay. So Nihar Sultana, are you there?
Nihar
Okay.
is offline.
Is
I
offline.
think now
Okay.
I am there only. And
Okay. Okay. Priyanka join us. So Antariksh, I think people have left from the webinar. So
Okay,
yeah, so we'll conclude the webinar over here, and me myself and Smita will have a conference call later with you. So I'll give you a message. We can interact with you on this.
sure.
Okay. So thank you very much, Vikas, Priyanka, Nihar, and Smita for being part of this webinar. So we will have more discussions post this. So we will have some discussions and how to discussions on this. So how to actually bring more people onto the webinar. So because I will also call you later on.
yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, boss.
Thanks, Antriksh. We'll have a call later. Okay.
Oh, Krish,
Thank
thank
you,
you so
Andrew.
much. Thanks, Meeta.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks Antriksh, thanks Vikas, thanks Priyanka, everyone who were there and attended the session. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks.
Thanks.